Hey, everybody. Welcome to a new, I don't want to say new season because we already did like what 5 episodes last time, but it's new
Listen,
season.
it was a short season.
Welcome to your favorite assholes, and we are back with a new season. I am Katrina, and I have my co-host Haevyn,
I'm
and we're
even.
we're gonna read some Am I the Asshole stories on Reddit, give our thoughts, opinions, and kind of
Yes.
decide if this person really is an asshole or not. And I do have a few stories I found are pretty recent, so let's get into it.
Hop into it.
Okay, so this first one says, "Am I an asshole for getting my girlfriend a birthday gift she
Great title.
hates?" So this says, "I feel like this is kind of overreacting, but maybe I'm just wrong. My girlfriend's 26th birthday was coming up, and I wanted to get her something really nice. I noticed throughout our whole relationship that she does her makeup on the floor in front of a mirror, and it always looks so uncomfortable. She has complained of it several times, so I decided it would be a great idea to get her a vanity set. I did some research and I found a couple she would like, but I knew she was picky, and so I asked her if she was planning on buying a vanity set ever. She showed me the vanity set she wanted, and I made sure to add that set to my Amazon list. A few months went by, and I was ready to buy the set, but I come to find out that it was sold out. I desperately looked at other sites and the manufacturer, but the set would not come for over a month after her birthday. Keep in mind that I decided to buy the month before, so it wasn't last minute. I still felt bad, and so I decided to spend some more time researching what set to buy. I finally came across one that matched the style and color of other furniture that she has purchased, and it was more expensive than the one she wanted. So I bought it thinking she liked it, even if it was the one she didn't ask for. I was wrong. My girlfriend's birthday finally comes around. She goes off to her sister's while I spend 2 hours building this set after work. When she finally comes home and I show it to her, I can clearly tell something was wrong. She was quiet and didn't seem too happy. So then she started bawling her eyes out, saying that she hates it because it wasn't the one she wanted. I explained to her that I couldn't get the one she wanted yet, but if she didn't like it that much, I could wait for it to come back and buy it and sell the one I just bought. That only made her more mad and upset, and then she went on a rant about how she hates birthdays and that I shouldn't have gotten her anything. Again, this vanity set matches everything she likes and wasn't some cheap set. She told me to simply sell the set and keep the money because she does not want anything from me on her birthday. So am I the asshole for getting her the wrong set?
No, her reaction is kind of crazy. Like I can understand it's not what you wanted, but he says it matches everything. I just think it was a big overreaction. She's a little bit of an ass, the
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree there. I feel like that's a bit of a, like, I get that. I feel like it's different if it's something totally, like, something you totally didn't want. So, like,
Right.
yes, for vanity set, and he got you like a game system or something. Because then I'm like, all
Exactly.
right, you clearly is doing like and there's unfortunately guys who would do something where they get a gift that's more for them than this person.
Mm-hmm.
But if he was trying, and it seemed like he was at least trying to look, and sometimes crap sells out. It happened to me last year, and I was like, oh man, I got to figure out something else to get because something that I was going to get sold out, and it happens. And
Mm-hmm.
so if he even offered to like re-buy the set regardless. It was just to
Right.
have her have something until she got it. I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I don't know why she like if he forgot her birthday completely and whatever, fine. I'll be like, all right, I can understand why she's
Right.
upset. I can understand. But if he took the time after work to set it up and just to have something until he's able to get something close or even offer to get the one that she actually wanted and it was still an issue, I don't think he's
Mm-hmm.
the asshole here.
No, she went crazy. She hate birthdays. Don't give me anything. Take it back. Like I feel like that's very uncalled for. I don't know. Very hateful and very
Yeah,
spoiled brat. That's what she's giving. Spoiled brat.
yeah, I feel like a lot of the comments are kind of saying that too. They said she's ridiculous, rude, ungrateful. Um, and she said you can understand feelings of being disappointed, but you offered to still get it, and it wasn't good enough. So she's the asshole.
Yeah.
Somebody said this is how a toddler would probably respond. Um,
Mm-hmm.
somebody said it's fair to be disappointed at someone getting you furniture you don't like and don't want clearing it with you first, but it shouldn't be hard to act graceful and polite for someone who's trying to, you know, trying to handle another way if you felt,
Yeah.
this wasn't
Domino,
the
what are
right
you
thing.
doing? My bad. My cat was up here.
So some
Put
people
it
think it's
down.
not about the vanity. Some people think it's something else. Um, yeah, some people are saying they think it's something else because this is so. This person says he wanted more information.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else is saying they don't think it's about the vanity. Like, what if this is something from other birthdays?
It could be, but yeah, because her reaction just was not warranted.
Yeah, so I guess I can read in the comments now. I feel like, you know, like I can understand, I guess, being a little disappointed, but some people are already saying also they think it might be something else going on for this kind of reaction because it was like, man,
yeah, but the girlfriend was wilding.
yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe he'll put an update at some point, but like I don't know if he did.
Mm-hmm. He should
And
leave
so
her.
I don't
Nah, let me
know.
stop.
And somebody said maybe if he would have just waited, not to get it on her birthday, like waited a little bit after if it was the one that she really wanted.
I don't know. Well, the way she reacted, she might have been like, "Oh, you didn't give me nothing on my birthday." Like it just seems like the way she reacted, she might be a type of person where you just can't win.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Like somebody else said also that why she doesn't think the guy's an asshole. She was like, her and her husband had this argument a few times over the decade they've been together, and she was like, there's things to note that the girlfriend, for instance, he said she was picky. And if this is something like, she's very, very picky about things, which means if she wanted to, it must have been the reason she picked this particular vanity if she's picky. And in that regard, there are certain things I am very picky about too.
Yeah.
That they was like, maybe that was one of those things like he should have just like, like she mentioned something about a towel that she wants some towels, and she said she explained all of them very specifically, and her husband bought something not exactly what she wanted, and she was like, she felt like he disregarded the fact that she told him, this is what I wanted, and and she said she would have preferred to wait for a substitute. So I guess in that regard, I can kind of see that side.
Yeah. Did he say the girlfriend was picky?
Yeah, he did. He did say that he knew she was picky. And then when he asked her, she showed him exactly the one she wanted. So I feel like if she was like, no, it's not these, that he had an idea for, and she was like, no, it's this one. In that regard, I guess,
True.
maybe it could be,
Your reaction is still kind of crazy, but
I do think it's a bit. I do guess in this regard, yeah, I do. Like people are saying they think she is a bit one, but also him because it felt like he kept saying, well, this is what I did. And we're thinking it's something that there must have been another reason why she said she needs birthdays. And I don't know how long he's dating her because he didn't say. But as somebody who has unfortunately had to deal with people messing up a birthday, and that's kind of why I don't particularly like my birthday too much anymore either. I can kind of understand that, like, if you're just like you're doing what makes you think is going to make you feel happy and make you good. But I do think she did, like, maybe the reaction was a bit much. So I guess in the comments, I kind of feel like maybe a little bit of one, but not necessarily. I feel like that's what I'm going to change my answer to now.
she's half of an ass. She's a half ass.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I feel like it's a half because now you probably don't need to react that way. But I can understand, like, if this happened before, as again somebody who has this happened to me before, you're like, so every time you got to do something the exact opposite of what I'm asking, and so
right,
because I've definitely had that happen. And I'm like, I literally gave you a list, like pick from the list, and you just go something totally I didn't ask for. So
something
like,
completely
and now I'm
different.
like, and while I've always said thank you, it was like, well, it was always that like in the back of my head, you really didn't like listen to everything I said.
Right.
So in that regard, I can understand that. But I also do think I don't know if I would react that way. I might have been sad, but I don't think I would react that way either. So
yeah, she did a bit much, but yeah, because I'm thinking about me, I would be like, if this happened before, I'd probably be like, all right, you didn't listen again. Like I wouldn't go crazy like she did. I would just be like, bro, again. Like, thank you, but this is not the color. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But if it happened many times,
yeah,
then I'd be like, you know what? Don't give me nothing. So I do kind of understand it. Just if it happened many times before, then you do get fed up. So
yeah. So I'm curious. I guess whenever they update that one, because he has not updated. This is pretty recent. I think like 3 days ago.
You gotta save that one. Check it again in a couple days.
So hopefully he updated at some point, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can definitely understand again why I guess I can kind of see it semi like okay, I can
Yeah.
kind of see why. Now I see some people saying that he might be one, but doesn't necessarily mean it's you know, I guess we'll see if they update. All right,
He gotta
so
update us.
hopefully we get an update on that one. So this one is: am I the asshole for not paying for my fiance's mom's funeral?
Dang.
So this person says, to make a long story short, my 31 fiance's mother recently passed. She was really never in his life, abandoned him at birth, and I only met her one time in the 8 years we've been together. Recently, she had come back to his life, and they were on civil terms. We got news from the hospital that she had died, and I immediately wanted to know what funeral home we wanted to send her to. And of course, my fiance decides he's obligated to figure all this out since his other siblings are either MIA or incarcerated. I recommended to him we just do something simple and keep it on the cheaper side since no one else will be helping financially, and he doesn't have any savings either. She also didn't have any kind of life or burial insurance. Well, so today he surprised me after work with a 10K bill that he expects me to pay the majority of out of my savings because he can't afford it. I will admit I did help pay for his dad's cremation multiple years ago, but it wasn't near the cost of what he's wanting to do now. We just recently moved into a more expensive apartment, and at this point, a $10,000 funeral is just not on the table, but he won't budge. So, am I the asshole?
Nope. Nope. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. You and the moms already had a weird relationship, right? Did she say he's not working or he just can't afford it?
She said like they don't have like he doesn't have savings, so I think he's working, but he doesn't have money saved. She has savings, he does not.
All right, guess what, sir? I am so sorry about it, but your mother is not getting a big chunk of my savings, and we just moved to a big apartment that most likely he's not contributing much to. No, no. I'm like, get her cremated, and then I maybe I pay for it because she said it was much cheaper for the dad, right? He's crazy. This reminds me of, and this, I mean, it's not the same, but I watch Friends, right? And when Monica and Chandler were getting married, she had like this dream wedding that she wanted, and it was very expensive. And he had money saved, and basically, it was most of his savings, or if not all of his savings, to pay for the wedding that she wanted. And he was just like, no. And she was mad. And I'm like, how are you mad? What this man to spend his entire savings on one day? Then what? That's crazy. Anyway, he ended up saying he would do it, but I'm like, he's stupid. And this lady, no, she's not the ass. The husband is the ass. It's your estranged mother. Y'all didn't even fuck with each other like that. She just came back around. You ain't got the money to do it. Why do I have to do it? Especially when I think that she's most likely paying for the majority of their lifestyle. Like she's funding their lifestyle, it seems like.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. No. It's not true. Yeah. So from experience with like dealing with like a spouse passing away, I remember this was 2011. So I remember when we was asking the questions about like how much is it for this, and this. They were saying like I remember it was like $2,000 just to open the ground. So it wasn't even to put the body inside the ground; it was just to make a hole. And I remember hearing that, and I'm like, that's absolutely insane. Because like, why do you need to pay this much to put a hole in the ground? And I thought that was insane. And so because we were like looking at the prices, I'm like, this is crazy. And he had life insurance. We went cremation because it's only $500 to cremate him.
Right.
And so we was like, all right, we'll do cremation because it's cheaper. And then he was supposed to get put in the ground, but as I have my own issues with that, you know, his family, he never actually got buried anywhere. I know they have his ashes, which is a whole other problem, but that's a different story for a different day. But the point is, it was $500 to thousands of dollars. And this is now including you have to pay for a funeral. If you're doing it at church, you pay the church for it. And you don't like if it's I know like Catholic churches doesn't really charge much from what I remember from a reason why I went to Catholic church, it doesn't charge much, but like funeral homes will charge you. If you got to have somebody speaking, you have to pay that person out of respect. If they're speaking at the funeral, if you have people do like, if you're doing like a hearse, you need to pay for that. A coffin, if you're getting a suit, all those little things that seem so like not important, apparently is once
And it
like
adds up.
and that's something I had to unfortunately like see, like damn, and that was the reason I was like, nah, we're gonna cremate because this is crazy, like nobody's paying this, and I didn't have that. So if she already paid for a parent's cremation and they're not even married yet, so she's a fiance. They're not even married yet, so these are not even in-laws. These are like your fiance's parents. You're not married yet. You've been together 8 years, and then the rest of his siblings, who that's what the response should fall on, is between him, the siblings, or whatever family this person has. You are not even technically, and why I know this whole view with a family, it's like family, blah blah. Then I'm not saying it's not that, but yeah,
No, she not family.
there's no way I'm paying 10,000 out of my savings, and also because of like, and maybe it's also because I'm a mom, and so I'm always thinking worst case scenario, something could happen, I need this money to be here, and
Yeah.
so like that's another thing. I felt like, and that's something I got really extra about. Like once he passed, I was always worried. Like I had to have to make sure I have this money. I had to make sure the bills paid, and I have to make sure it's this, this, and this. And that's something I can understand. Like if I have savings, the savings is savings for a reason, and it's not for your mom's $10,000 funeral, and you don't even like you wasn't cool how like that. But there's other siblings, and while there are other ones in jail, they can't do much. There's ones that's MIA apparently, which means they're alive and not in jail. And so, what are you doing? Because that's now their responsibility. I also tell people, please get life insurance because every time I hear when people are like, oh, we got to raise money, I'm like, why do nobody ever get life insurance? It will save so much trouble with a lot of things because to die is expensive, as crazy as that sounds. Dying is expensive.
Like, I'm listening to you were saying 200 just to open up the 2000.
Yeah,
you said.
and this was 2011. I don't know what it is now. In 2011, I was like, are you insane to open a hole? Nuts. It wasn't even to bury the body. It was just to put a hole.
And nigga, we'll go get some shovels and do it ourselves. Like for that price, like that's crazy.
Yeah, and so then that's when I was like, oh, this is great. Now he had life insurance, so it covered a good part. But I know I paid some stuff out of pocket too. So like, asked his wife, like, and that was again a whole freaking thing with the family. But the point is, dying is expensive. So I feel like, please, for the love of God, guys, get insurance. I feel like that's something you should not put on your family or your children or your whatever. Like, obviously, there might be some expenses because that's how it is, but it shouldn't be that much where they're coming out. The insurance is supposed to help you cover that. So get life insurance. I don't think she's the asshole. I think if anything, him talking like he won't budge, well, he cannot budge. It's my money. Like if you're not you have no access to my account, so we're not gonna like him not budging is crazy. Like no, that like my guy, please. No, I guess if I'm an asshole, I guess it makes me one because I'm not paying that. That's crazy.
I guess because stuff like that, I'm like, how do people have the audacity? Like that's why I'm always thinking. I'm like, all right, she already paid for your parent, one of your parents, which means when she said a year ago, what she said, a few years?
A few years, yeah.
So that means in a few years, you still don't have nothing because you couldn't pay for the cheaper one for your dad, but you expect her to pay for the more expensive one for your mom, the mom that you weren't even cool with like that. And like, he won't budge. Girl, you better not budge. What do you mean? He can't do anything. You're the one with the money. So I'm very confused with that. I would divorce him actually. Oh, I would leave.
They're not, they're
leave.
just
not
married. And people are saying that she needs to leave him. But that's what people are saying. This is a red flag for him to expect to participate in paying. He should have asked you first and let you be part of the decision. Somebody is saying that he won't budge. She said, hell no, you're not paying for his mother's funeral. That is not your responsibility. And anything, if you help towards cremation, then, but he has to find a way to pay for, which I kind of agree. And I feel like that's insane. Like, again, $10,000 sounds crazy, but also on one side, like I said, opening a hole in 2011 was $2,000, and that wasn't to put the body; it was just to open a hole. So God knows what is. It might be the coffin, it might be the service, it might be the wake. I don't know what he paid, but that's absolutely insane. And she did give an update. Insane. She gave an update. So she said,
I can't wait to hear this.
Thank you, everyone, for all your comments. They really opened my eyes. No plans are set in the stone at the moment. That was just the estimate they gave him for the service. After talking to him tonight and explaining that I will not be footing the bill for any sort of big expensive funeral, he left the apartment after a long argument to stay with his grandmother and basically hasn't spoken to me since. We do not have any combined finances accounts, so at this point, I'm just over it. He can stay gone for all I care. Yeah, F him.
Yes. Yes.
Fuck him.
He can stay
No,
gone.
fuck him. I'm so sorry. Like, how are you? So, first of all, his grandmother. I don't know if this woman is his mom's mom or his dad's mom, but there
Mm-hmm.
is some other family there. If he feels like the response is I'm gonna get mad at you and go to my grandmother, I'm not gonna talk to you like we five, okay, well then you could stay with your grandmother in general. And if I don't know if
Right.
this is like I don't there's nothing about kids. I don't know if they moved to a big apartment because of kids or they wanted kids. But if he's not on anything and there's nothing combined, F him. I feel like he's clearly super selfish and he's one of those.
Yeah.
And I don't like men like that. I just don't. Like I
I don't
don't.
like people like that in general because what do you mean? And you stormed off? What was that supposed to make her say, "Oh my God, I'll pay for it"? No. She need to change the locks, change her number, and be done with him, or just block him.
Yeah, people saying that he sounds like she was supporting him and I'm thinking so too.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody said that yeah, they paid less than $1,000 for their father's cremation, and I was like, yeah, because unfortunately, you know, yeah, there are definitely cheaper options. You can even like there are options. I don't know what he was doing, and then if she wasn't even like it seemed like the dad was better with him and her than the mom was. Why are you doing? If the dad
Mm-hmm.
didn't get that, why do you think the mom was supposed to get that? And she wasn't, and she abandoned.
Right.
And unfortunately, the abandoned mom thing just made me feel, you know who?
Hmm.
It made me think of you know who, and I feel like, well, I don't know what the reaction was because his mom did pass away. My point is like that level of just sometimes entitlement that
Right.
you want the person you're with to deal with the issues that come from any of that that has nothing to do with me. Like
Like it's
she don't
crazy.
have nothing to do with the fact that mom wasn't speaking to you or abandoned you. That she feels she has. I feel like that's it's like he's trying to guilt trip her because his mom died and he's grieving, and I just but no, absolutely fuck that. She
Mm-mm.
deletes him. I hope she does.
This is why people would call me and ask. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry for your loss. You gotta be joking. I'm not paying it, and you can't change my mind. Like that's just it." And a lot of people would say that, oh, you know what I mean. He's grieving. Okay, well, why doesn't he have the money? It's the fact that she paid for one parent already. So why is this woman paying for your parents' past? Like this is crazy.
Yeah, we
You
don't even
you
know if she's gonna
you
pay for
didn't
her own
save
parents.
anything.
Yeah, we don't even know if she has her own parents. We have to worry about that in the future. Like we don't even know. So
And
yeah,
then the fact that he has no type of savings in years, bro, stop it. Stop it. I'll give him the ring back so he can have some money because when getting my money, he's an
yeah, I.
ass. He's not.
Yeah. I don't think she's an asshole. I think she just needs to just get rid of some more dead weight, and it'll be him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. hopefully,
That's nuts.
hopefully, she left him
Hopefully.
because yeah, couldn't be me. I feel like yeah. Okay,
That's too much.
so the last one I got is: Am I the asshole for telling my husband that I hate his mom? Okay, well,
Woo!
yeah, well, been there. Let's let's the story. So my husband 29 and I 22. Pause. I don't know how I feel about that. Cause like, so she said they were married for 2 years, which means she got married when she was 20 and he was 27. And I don't,
Mm-hmm.
and that's married. We don't know how long that relationship is. And now I'm thinking he was dating her underage. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be assuming. It just I don't know. I feel like
This
22 is
this story this story's already bad because even if she was 18 or 19, that's still a big difference. You was
yeah.
almost 30 when she was 18, 19.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, well, so she says we've been married for 2 years now, and his parents live with us because they are elderly. Mother-in-law's in her 70s, father-in-law's in his 80s, and they don't have anywhere else to go since father-in-law recently retired and couldn't afford his house anymore. I completely adore his dad as he's always been kind to us and he's very understanding, but his mom is extremely difficult to live with. She often makes passive aggressive or outright rude comments, yells when we try to address things calmly, and blatantly disregards house rules. For example, I repeatedly asked her not to feed our dogs homemade food containing garlic or onion because it's extremely toxic to dogs, which is true. And she continues to do it anyway. She also hides our food in different parts of the house, and then we find it rotten in the most random places. When we confront her, she starts shoving and deflecting responsibility. Sometimes she even runs away from the house in hopes of manipulating my husband into feeling bad and go to look for her. One recent example that really got to me was she woke up really early and was smashing pots and pans in the kitchen, so my husband gently asked her to keep the noise down because I was still sleeping. She went off on him, yelling that it's her house and accusing him of picking me over her. He stood his
What?
ground and said that I'm his wife and he will always put me first, so she stopped talking to him for weeks. During that time, she kept making sarcastic comments like, don't make too much noise or you disturb the sleeping beauty. And she also tried to make the family pick fights between me and her. My husband got mad and said he was done being nice to her for now. Just like always, she started being somewhat nice again, and he completely forgiven her and is back to being kind to her. I reminded him of her behavior, and he said it was fine, that it was already used to her, but I'm not. Since day
Mm.
one, she always made it seem like my husband is taking me over her when I haven't done anything but be nice to her this whole time. I have never complained to her, I have never raised my voice at her, and I never disrespect her because she is my husband's mom after all. I just try to avoid her at all costs. Therefore, I can't even go into my own kitchen because she's always hanging around there even though she doesn't cook or clean. All of this has led to resentment and hate towards her, and I get especially triggered when my husband offered to buy her things or offer some of my food. After everything she's done, I know it seems small, even petty, but to me, it feels like he's rewarding her bad behavior. It's not really about the food itself, but what it represents to me. That he forgives her without her taking accountability. So I automatically get pissed when he gives her things. Today he asked me why I was mad. I told him the truth. During a mental breakdown, I told him that I hate his mom. I can't see myself living with her for any longer, and that I don't want her around our future children as she doesn't respect boundaries. Now I feel guilty. And then she gave some other info. My husband pays rent and the bills, including groceries. His parents were never homeowners and are now retired, so they can't afford to rent on their own. I just want to make it clear that my husband has always stood up for me, and I know that this has been going on since he was a child, so deflecting is pretty much a trauma response. He is aware that his mother had to live somewhere else, but he feels bad for his dad because he helped him through the worst years of his life. Mother-in-law has been to many doctors and psychologists, and they all agree she doesn't have a mental illness, and it's just the way she is. She does not suffer from dementia, as most of you have suggested. Every single is calculated to make you pity her and blah blah blah. I didn't realize it was an update because she way she put it. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there
Mm.
for a second.
Okay.
So, do you think she's the asshole?
No. My the thing I that makes me so sad is when someone feels uncomfortable in their own home because of someone else. Especially when the other person does not have to be there. Like it's not your child, it's not your husband or wife, you know what I mean? It's like it's an in-law, right? Put them somewhere, bro. And I know how that sounds, but disregard it. First of all, I mean, I know some people don't care about animals, but I do. And it's like you're gonna keep giving my pets food that's toxic to them. She said it's her house. How could she? How do you even let that go over your head? Like she told her husband that's her house. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're just here. You're a guest. No, she would have to go. I'd have been said this a long time ago. Like, please find somewhere for her to go, or I am out of here because
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
I
be
don't.
home.
Yeah.
No, not
Um.
going to your kitchen because she's there is crazy.
Yeah. So I'm reading these comments. So she's saying that it's not like the parents are incapable of like. So I'm not sure how the money was working for them before because I'm assuming they're retired, and so I don't know if they have like a pension, Social Security. I don't know how that works for them. She
Mm.
didn't mention it. But she also ignored a lot of questions that people were asking how old was she when they started dating because I'm starting to think she was under 18 as
Of
well.
course.
Um, she said that they have other siblings but they don't want to deal with her, that she's too much. So yeah, um,
Girl, leave
I
them.
just I feel like in this situation I as here I go again. As somebody who had to deal with a mother, and a person who did not like me for whatever reason, and I'm also on the mindset that you try to be respectful. That's how I was raised. So I don't have to necessarily like a person, but if I'm in their home or whatever, I will be respectful. That's
Mm-hmm.
I might talk shit in my head, or I might talk shit when I leave the house, but in the house, I will not say anything.
Right.
I've had to deal with moms being doing the most over their sons, and so it was always the whole, oh, you're choosing her over me. I've had to deal with this exact in that
Which
situation.
is so weird. It's such a
Yeah,
weird mentality.
yes. And so I'm saying this as somebody who had to deal with this, where the moms didn't know how to let go, and the sons were perfectly like okay with the nonsense or oblivious to how the mom was kind of manipulating things. So don't think she's the asshole. I do think she should divorce
Mhm.
him, though. I feel like while it's semi understandable that his mom clearly never had any repercussions. It's what he was used to as a kid. As an
Mhm.
adult, I'm the firm believer in after a while, you have to ask yourself, is this what I want to keep dealing with? Or is this something
Exactly.
I should be dealing with? You're like, he's almost 30. You should not have to keep dealing with that. And if there's
Mm-mm.
other siblings and even they're like, I ain't dealing with her, then clearly your mom is an issue. If they don't want
Exactly.
her, she needs to probably be in a home. And it's unfortunate because I feel like to put somebody in a home, that's always iffy because the person might
Mhm.
not be a good home and they might treat the parents
Right.
well. But if you're in the house that I'm paying stuff for, I can't go into my own kitchen. You're trying to hurt my pets. You're making comments because I need rest or whatever the case may be. You need to get
Mhm.
out. I don't care who, and I don't care who you are. I feel like
Right.
I feel like if it's not like my children, I feel like even to an extent, like with my children, you have to do something really crazy for me to be like, all right, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like that's the only time I can make some concessions because those are my kids. But like for
Mhm.
somebody else, if you're being rude in my space and you're not even my blood relative, you're an in-law, get fucked. You're leaving. And
Right.
if he feels like he can't do that, then we're gonna have to get divorced. I feel like that's crazy, and I feel like the whole "it's my house" like girl. See, that would have made me go from nice to not nice real quick. I would have forgotten that. Like,
Exactly.
be respectful. I wouldn't be like, excuse me. And now we're arguing because who in my kitchen you talking about? Girl, no, I don't care. I'm also equal opportunity. I don't care about age. And I think like I'm usually respectful people's mothers. I was again how I raised. I don't nobody disrespect my mother, but my
Okay.
mom also don't do that kind of stuff. Like
Right.
she's never involved in anybody's like my siblings like lives where it's like she's involved or she cared. She never did that. She was always very polite, very respectful. Unless somebody asked her directly, she never said anything. So
Okay.
I think, yeah, no, couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I think I would have been violated by now. I would have violated like you did.
Definitely. And the fact that she's 22 and she understands this is a problem, but he's damn near 30 and he doesn't, they're gonna have more problems in their marriage. And like she said, she don't want her around their future kids. Imagine her feeding your child something you don't want your child to have. She would absolutely do that. And that's just a bigger problem, you know. And I'm thinking about her being pregnant, then having to deal with the mother. Like, no, you don't want to have that type of environment while you're pregnant. You don't want to bring your children into that environment. Like, hell no. She need to think about it if she want to move further with this man.
Yeah, she did say that the mother-in-law, the pots and pans thing, she always did, even with her husband and the siblings when they were younger, and she'd do it for attention. The taking the food and hiding it apparently has something to do with her being poor, which I guess to some extent I can kind of understand that if it's what she felt like she was going to run out of food. That's actually
Mm-hmm.
a normal, like not normal, but it's a common response if you were hungry and you was worried about food that you would hide food.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not too off, but the banging of pots and pans like tantrums, I feel like that's tantrums, and I just no.
She's doing too much.
Somebody said you need to understand that you are replaceable and his brother's not.
All right, so then let him replace her. Like, what? I don't. People are crazy. People want you to put up with disrespect off the threat of, oh, you don't have to be here. Oh, then let me leave. Like, I'm not gonna be disrespected. There's no way.
Yeah. So some people are saying they think she's not for how she feels, but she is for how she's handling it. I'm just like, if I'm trying to rest and you're doing like weird petty stuff and making my house feel funny, like to walk on eggshells, I don't really think. Yeah. People are saying it might be dementia, and it might be, but even if she does have dementia, even though the lady said she did not, that supposedly she was evaluated. I don't know how true that is. That's what she said. Uh, I do think this is a little bit of narcissism, and I don't want to say she has narcissistic personality disorder. I'm not a therapist or licensed, you know,
Mm-hmm.
psychologist. So I'm not going to say, but I do feel like some of the tendencies she has is a bit narcissistic. The You're picking her over me, so you're making people choose, or you're trying to
Right.
cause tension by having family members say, "Oh, is I'm right or she right?" And that's like that whole like that's a narcissistic thing to do, just to
Mm-hmm.
kind of play victim. If you do
Right.
something and like, oh, poor me, and then that kind of thing, or be very spiteful and mean, and then revert to, oh, I didn't mean it that way, whatever the case may be. I feel like she has tendencies. I don't want to say she has, she's like has NPD, because I don't know. But I do feel like
Mm-hmm.
some of the things she's doing is a bit narcissistic. And I do think if nobody's ever put her in a place before and she's now in her 70s, it's probably not changing now.
Definitely
And
not.
even if she has dementia, it means it's going to be, if that's her personality, she's just like that for a reason. Because
Yeah.
our youngest kid, because he's the youngest, there's other kids in their 40s, he's the youngest one. So she might be one of those, oh, he's the baby. That's my, like that, he might be in that mindset. And I just, again, for
Ugh.
somebody, unfortunately, who has to deal with that with a moms,
Sounds
because my
annoying.
mom I had to deal with. I feel like sometimes you can be the nicest person, you can try to be as accommodating and forgiving, and they're still not gonna like you. Like and unfortunately, like I had to deal with that. So I feel like I always have like a like, oh, I can tie
Hey.
that in because suck. But yeah, yeah, I personally, if the husband didn't do what he needed to do, I think I would have to divorce, because that's the one thing is your home should be the one place you have some sort of peace. If
Yes.
you have to work or if there's children or whatever is going on in the world, the one part you should have some level of peace is your home. And it doesn't feel peaceful. And that would bother me personally.
Yeah. She's not the ass. And like people saying the way she handled it, sometimes, like I said, you can't determine how much someone is going to put up with and then how they are going to react. Shit happens. This has been going on for quite some time, apparently. People get tired. People get tired and they explode. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. So no, I don't think she's the ass. The first person was not the ass. The person was what? Oh, definitely not the ass. That was the girl not paying for the funeral, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it was like two not the assholes, and then I feel like semi, because of, I can understand, I guess, a part of what the guy with the vanity set. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Somebody was like, if this was my mother-in-law, I would hate her too. Everybody's, I guess,
Exactly.
asking how long they were dating, because she's 22, been married for 2 years. And I'm like,
Yeah, and she know what's wrong. That's probably why she ain't answering none of those questions.
no, she's definitely skipping the age question. She's answering other things, but she's not answering the age question. And but apparently she has two other daughters as well.
Dang. From him or someone else?
I'm guessing not the girl. I guess the husband's sister.
Oh,
That she has other siblings there in their 40s. She said, but then somebody said she has to either choose to continue to live in the house with them, or you have to decide not to stay. And I'm kind of agreeing there. Like the whole, and I'm always iffy when a mom be like, oh, you're choosing them. Like, grow up. Cut the umbilical cord off. I cannot stand that nonsense. When a man gets a certain age, you will love them always, but you let them the fuck
right.
go. That's the point of them. And if you bring religion into it, if you're religious, well, the Bible said that you leave your family when you find a wife. So
Mm-hmm.
that's in the Bible. If you're not biblical, well, if you chose to spend this time which person I'm going to marry you, make that commitment legally, then mom is there, but it's not more important than your wife. I'm so sorry. Like I said, I had this
Right.
issue before, and it never gets better.
I'm about to say
It
her situation
never
only
gets
going to get worse.
it never gets better. Never gets better.
Well,
So
she's definitely not the ass.
yeah,
Not
I
at
don't think
all.
she is either. I don't think she is either. But that was the last update she gave, so I'm not sure if she'll add more. But yeah, people sure know how to do the most. I guess they know how to do the most.
They sure be going through some things.
I just, yeah, could be me.
Right. I just think it's crazy how like they really have to sit and be like, I'm wrong for dealing with this disrespect and this nonsense, but saying I don't deal with it. Like, how are you? Ugh.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yep, could be me, but
Absolutely not.
but that is the last story for this episode. I mean, they were cool, and
It
they
was
were
pretty
pretty recent.
decent.
I think they were all done within the week. So,
Oh, nice. And they were all pretty different too. So
yeah, I was trying to make sure it was it the same
did a
kind of
good
story.
job.
I was looking through Reddit. Reddit's a lot of posts, but yeah, it was definitely pretty cool.
Yeah.
Uh, so you tell everybody what you got going on and where they can find and follow you.
Um, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Haevyn _rain. I make wrestling videos, fashion videos, and I'm probably gonna start talking about anything and everything. So yeah, one day I'll be back on YouTube. Just not sure when. Oh, on Twitch. I'm on Twitch now. I'm streaming wrestling every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So same name, Haevyn Rain. Come hang out.
Nice. And as for me, guys, in the Cat We Trust, E Street, every place but YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And I'm trying. I'm getting better, guys. I have interviews out now. I slapped last year. I really did. I'm getting better. I got reels. I got my interviews. I'm going to be gaming streaming very soon, and possibly also jumping in with Haevyn on some of the watch alongs. So
Yes.
should be cool. But you guys,
Yes.
thank you so much. Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Do you think everybody is an asshole or not an asshole, and why? Be respectful, because don't do it. Be clear, be respectful. But we will catch you next time. Bye, guys.
Laters.